Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat, and chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes or just remain silent and chill. I hope everyone's doing well out there. Yes, I am in high definition. Lashberg is here. Aristophan is here. John is here. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, so I'm changing some stuff up. I gave a bit of a preview of this yesterday for Pat Bear's Anime Club. I was gonna wait until the new year, but here's the thing: the stream I did last night is technically my first Pat Bear's Anime Club of 2022. So I was like, oh, I want to do the new stuff. I'm not. This is a work in progress. Now, if I had better lighting, the background wouldn't be as pixelated as it is. But that's not going to improve. I'm not going to improve the lighting right here. The only I could theoretically, I have a lamp over there that I could move behind me, um, and that would throw more light on my background. But also, the walls are yellow, so there's only so much I can do. Other than if I guess LED, colored LED back. I tweeted about this. Everything I do with my setup, it has to be something that I can easily either throw away or simply move when I move. So, Stream Deck, yes. New lighting rig, no. My overhead light for my buildings streams, yes. Um, Getting a portable green screen for behind me. No, those are not going to be things that I'm doing. But I do have a set of sorts. I've had the Gohan, the box from the Gohan Ultimate Gohan model kit, the figurized kit. I had that cut out and put in a picture frame for a while now because I just think it's funny. Um, and behind me here are just boxes from kits I haven't built yet, that I will rotate through those boxes and just kind of put them up there with a figure of some kind on top of it, because that's fun for me. And then back here are a bunch of boxes, some of which are kits literally that you can see. One of those kits is one I'm working on right now on this stream, but the other ones are kits that either I haven't built yet or I will build soon, and they're just the boxes. And they are taped together with painter's tape, and then a couple of them are taped to the wall with painter's tape just so they don't fall over. And I'm going to go higher because this is not high enough for my liking. I want it to go pretty high. It will, and that's just to have something behind me, like some kind of thing, so it's not just my bed frame and the corner. Um, that cabinet, or sorry, closet door, like folds in. So if I put a poster up, it has to be something I might have to put like two. Either I've got to put two posters up, or I got to put a poster and I cut it in half so that it opens. But I do want to put something there, there. Something's got to go there. But anyway, I got a new border. I'm doing HD with this camera instead of going a weird resolution, which I was doing previously. I got rid of the gold frame, and now I got this border for both things. And I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll go to the overhead right now. I'm not 100% sure that this is how I want this, because by using the same size of frame, it kind of looks like the kit is bigger than me, but it looks rad, so I don't know. And then I'm like, am I minimizing my build space by having like all of this be gone with an image and me? Let me try this, because look, we're gonna get to building. It's the last stream of the month, and we're trying stuff out. Let me try this. I think that's better. I hmm. I think that's better because it is see-through. I think that's better and cleans up the space down like here, which I yeah, I do. I think that's better. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know for sure. I do think that's better. We're gonna go with that. Maybe I'll do something where this is, instead of like a box, it is like one long thing. Not like that, but like that. Then the properties, and then just like this, and nope, space there, a whole lot of space there, that, something like that. That maybe. I'd probably just ruin this thing. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. I could have done this off stream, but instead I'm doing it now. So you're welcome. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah, all right. I'll play around with that. I only really ever do no more than two things there. And then I'll just have to find a spot for the like when I dip below 50 subscribers and I want to put up that message, I'll find a spot for there. I kind of like that. I think that's not bad. I'm playing around with it. You know what I mean? I'm just figuring this thing out as we go. Um, I do like having a backdrop. I think it's nice background. I think it's nice to have. Um, but we'll see. We'll see how all this shakes out. I also had to move. One downside of going HD is my mic arm was in a spot that I really liked, but like I don't care if you see this, if this ends up getting into shot. It's probably better if it is because it means it's closer to my mouth. But the end of the arm was in a spot where you could see it like right here, and that was bad because it was just like this weird piece of metal sticking out. And like I would have had to make the blue frame really big in order to hide that. So wasn't going to do that. Anyway, we should get to model kit building, probably. Um, got quite a few friends joining us tonight, which is nice. Welcome everybody. Hope you're all doing well here. The old Build with Baer, the last Build with Baer of 2021. It's not the last Build with Baer. It's just the last one of the year. Anyway, let's get into this Gouf Crimson Custom. I'm going to retweet my tweet and we'll get into it. Now, I have built this very Gouf in a different color scheme, a blue color scheme, on this very channel in the past. This is the 2010 Crimson Gouf with some new parts. These are the new parts. This is the 2021. It's mostly this modular backpack that a lot of these kits come with, so that you can do nonsense with it. Is it Gouf or Guff? So, John, it might really be Guff, but I always call it the Gouf because it's the pronunciation I might not be accurate in, but I think Gouf is a better name than Guff. Because for me, if you want to spell, look, you would want to spell it Goof to be Gouf, but if you want to be Guff, you should spell it Guff. But they spell it Gouf, so I go with Goof. Goof. Yeah, Lashbrook says he's always said Goof, so I don't know. I've been wrong before. I used to say Iron Blood Orphans, even though I knew it was Iron Blooded Orphans. It just came out of my mouth as Iron Blood Orphans. Maybe it's a better name, but whatever. Because Blooded is a weird name. Anyway, so there's some new parts here, but it's mostly the same kit. Once you have all of them, you can mismatch. The choice they made for this thing is beautiful. They basically, you gotta see it. The Barbatos legs, and then at the back of the Barbatos you put the wings from the Wing Zero, the Wing Sky Zero, and that's nonsense. It's beautiful nonsense that you did that. Like they were like, yeah, put that on there, put wings on it. That's what we suggest you do as a combiner. Oh yeah, you can see here, kind of see the Gouf Custom, its normal color scheme. Oh, no, you're not going to see that. Great. There's normal color scheme. It's good. It's 2 shades of blue. This is 2 shades of red. As you can see in the photo, what I moved around up here at the top, The dark red, the maroon, you could say, probably say maroon, we're going to use the black marker for. And the lighter red, the more cherry red, we are going to use brown. And I might change these to maroon and cherry, but right now I have dark red and light red. I always like this style of Gouf. Oh, yeah. Ghost, first of all, hi, Ghost. Secondly, yes, the Gouf Custom is fantastic. It is, look, its shield is a machine gun and also holds a sword. I want to say that again. This kit's shield has a built-in machine gun and like chain gun, and also holds a sword. That shit rules. So we're gonna start with the legs. Again, this is a kit from 2010, so it's modern, but also 11 years old. But it's still from the modern era with new instructions, so which is nice because I'll tell you the truth. When I built this Gouf, I'm sure it didn't have instructions with any English language at all in it. I guarantee it didn't. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. Happy to have you here. Also, I should point out, this kit has just 2 stickers. Look at that shit. Only 2 stickers. So it's already an incredible high grade because it doesn't need a bunch of anything. It's just like, oh, we got this. No, don't worry about it. We got this. We can do these legs 2 at a time. So we will be doing them. These parts, we're working on the feet, working from the bottom up, which is always odd on a kit, but we'll take it. I mentioned the Barbatorus because you can use part of the Barbatorus on this kit. I should let you know that I finally fucking got my Barbatorus. This kit was originally supposed to be out in like, I don't remember, September, August, October maybe? Anyway, because it had like a limited run just in, that it was supposed to be just be in Target. And then USA Gundam Store just had a problem getting them, like getting the shipment. The shipment just didn't arrive for the longest time, and it finally fucking did. And I finally have one of the kits I was anticipating the most recently, which is, of course, the Barbatorus. I don't have a photo easily available, but you can look it up. It's a Barbatos, but it has 4 legs. It is definitely the most modified kit of any kit in this line. And right behind it, I would say, is like I ordered most of the battle log at once, which means my order just got sent. Ghost Valve, I'm glad at least you're getting it. I only ordered the Death Scythe, the Live Lance Heaven, I should say, and the Barbatorus, and I ordered them separately, which is great. And you know, yeah, hey, did I pay more by ordering them separately? Yes. But did I get my Live Lance when it came out and immediately get to build a Death Scythe like variant? Yes. So that one is obviously different in that its color scheme, its styling, some of the armor, its weapon, different. That is a different kind of kit. But the Barbatorus is definitely the weirdest one. This kit and like the Wing Zero kit or the Wing Sky Zero, the Command, which is behind me, the Urban Command, those are just basically palette swaps. Those are color changes. They're nothing dramatically different about them. The Burning Gundam is like a weird like fanfic Gundam, which I really like. It's like the idea of like, what if the it's you know how the Rising and the Shining Gundam were like sibling Gundams. Well, what if the God Gundam had a sibling Gundam? I like that. That's some good, like I said, that's some good ass fan fiction right there. That's some like, well, what if? So that one is basically the God Gundam with some extra parts to differentiate it, but it's pretty similar. And the Helios, I haven't looked at too much. I think the Red Astray black version is just a palette swap of the Red Astray. But I don't know if the Helios is different at all because I'm not super familiar with that. That could be the one that has some differences. I'd have to look at it. That's also, those 2 that I just mentioned are the ones I don't own. They are still on my Amazon wish list. If you were interested in buying something from my Amazon wish list, Those would be nice to get because I do very much want to purchase all of them, all of these kits from Battlelog, so that I can then do a YouTube video where I assemble them as suggested, and then maybe also make my own variations of them. I don't know. I like the idea of being like, okay, I made these weird combos, but also what if I just made my own weird combo? I think that would be fun. I want to like, yeah, I want to mess around with that a bit. I want to put the backpack on a bunch of like. What if I did the Wing Zero, but I put the wings of the Live Lance? How's that going to look? That kind of thing. Like wondering how those look together. Kind of playing around with that. Um, oh, I love this. Oh, I love this cherry red. It's so vibrant. It's so nice, and this what it looks for me in person is pretty much what you're seeing here. The colors are a little muted for you more than me, because I'm looking at it in person and you're looking at it through, so some elements of distortion. Uh, but it does look pretty great. So trust me when I tell you, looks pretty damn good. So that I was very excited. Also, got a notification for Premium Bandai that a kit that the Weiss, what is the name of this thing? Um, the Weiss Barzum high grade, which just is a weird looking kit. It's just a wacky looking kit that I pre-ordered. That's a high grade that is coming and shipping towards the end of January, but they're giving me the notification that it's shipping towards the end of January, which is good. I have something coming in January, probably the end by the time it comes from California, maybe February. And then I have 21. Okay. And then I have a kit coming in candy apple red is a nice color for Gundam. Totally dirty. Also, hi, dirty. Welcome. The Gundam Harite real grade, or sorry, high grade. That's a high grade. That's coming in February. The Exia Repair 2 real grade is coming in April. Also, the White Rider and the Black Rider high grades are supposedly coming in April. I imagine at least one or two of those things are going to get pushed. Also, oh yeah, and then May, I have the new Gundam entry grade and the Raider Gundam full mechanics are both May, and also the Asmodeus high grade. And I imagine at least one of those will be delayed because they're all coming out in May. And I think I don't think any of those are premium. I think all of those are USA Gundam Store pre-orders because, like I said, I do even though they were really late on one thing, I do tend to use USA Gundam Store simply because they are based in Florida and I am here in South Carolina, so it is convenient for me to get my shit from them. And occasionally I will order stuff. I usually don't pre-order. I usually just order from like Gundam Planet because like I'm not. Yeah, Gundam Planet because they're in New Jersey, so at least they're on the East Coast. And as always, friends, I don't know of a place like that, an equivalent that is West Coast based. But if you do, feel free to let me know because it is nice to know about that. My West Coast shipping it comes from Premium Bandai. All right, we'll get the legs here. We'll wait until this is done. Like right now, there's no panel lining that needs done anyway. I mean, the feet we could get with like a black marker, but I'm not worried about that. So we'll just wait a little bit on here. All right, so we got to do this. This is how it goes in here. Start to do that. Okay, what else do we want to talk about tonight? Okay. I talked about the updates to my OBS. One of the reasons why I made this push was I want to film my top 10 and do it where I have most of the camera. Normally, when I do my not Build there, but my Pat Bear's Anime Club, most of the screen is the image, like it's my PowerPoint, and I am a small image on there, and I kind of want to change that up. I'd like it to be more of like, here's me, and then here is, like in the top corner, like where it says light red, have that be like an image that pops up and kind of do it like that. And I can still do that in OBS easily and just build like a frame for it to have it pop in, um, and put some black images or just minimize it or whatever. Like I can do that. I can even program a profile on my Stream Deck to just be like advance, like whatever, like turn it on and off and all that. Like I can do that pretty easily. So I'm thinking of doing that. But to do that properly, I would have to use this HD camera. And then I was like, well, if I'm actually going to do it in HD and do it 16:9, let's just go all the way. Let's try to get a new frame, get a new border, try to make it look a little more presentable. I'm going to turn my volume down because I'm getting loud. Try to make it more presentable for a few things. And then also, sometimes I do, what do you call it? Sometimes I still do like video conferencing and various things, and like that's already widescreen like in Zoom, so I might as well try to make it look a little more presentable for this kind of thing. Again, still a work in progress, still not sure how all of this is like going to work, but right now I'm liking how this looks, so I think I'll stick with it as it is right now and then adjust as we go. But yeah, this kind of debuted last night, and then I've been tweaking it since, like making my intro full screen. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might frame that a little bit more, but I'm liking this border. I think it's kind of nice. We'll see how it looks for other stuff, including like when I'm playing games and stuff like that. We'll see how that looks for that. But right now, pretty into it. But yeah, my top 10 Pet Bears Anime Club, like top 10 of 2021, coming next year. Not sure exactly when that's going to go. That'll be depend. Again, I'm not saying why, but you can figure out why pretty easily. When I'm posting that video for everyone to see is dependent on other people. It is, yeah, it is somewhat of a collaboration, and that's all I'll say about that. Said too much as it is. Let's see. Other things that I want to talk about tonight. I got a bunch of like quick hits. Here's a quick hit for you. Here's a recommendation of something that you can check out because you deserve it. If you have Netflix, you want to go to season 3 of The Stand-Ups. That's The Stand-Ups. That is their like half-hour series. So not a full hour, but different people getting their half hours. The one I will recommend to you that you should watch, the first one is Naomi Ekperigin. Naomi Ekperigin. I don't know if you know Naomi from anything. I think maybe you would know her from like podcast guesting. She's guested on a bunch of stuff. She's been on late night here and there doing stand up. Naomi, first and foremost, is a national treasure, and get on board. Just fucking get on board right now with how good Naomi is. She doesn't need me to say that shit, but I will say it anyway because she is a doll. She is so fucking smart and so fucking funny. Um, she's so great. But yeah, she's got her half hour on Netflix, which is rad, and I'm proud of her for it. Uh, Only time for the Bear Cave and Code Miko crossover. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's happening. Um, anyway, Naomi is great. Please watch it. She's fantastic and a dear friend. I have not seen her in quite some time. She and her boo have a podcast where they used to have like a stand up show where all the guests would be couples, and then they kind of made it couples therapy, and then they've made that into a podcast because of the current situation and how it's hard to go do stand up places. I think this is right. I may have put these on wrong. We'll find out later. Anyway, the feet are done. Our legs are done. Now it's time to build the feet. I need ease. So Naomi fucking rules. You should check it out. I watched it because I forgot to cancel Netflix again because I don't have anything to watch until Stone Ocean Part 2. But I'm glad I have it because then I was able to watch it and support my friend. But yeah, if you're looking for some laughs towards the end of the year into the new year, go for it. I think you'll like it. Cobra Kai season 4 is out tomorrow, says Lord Crashton. Well, there you go. Another thing to watch. Let's see. Okay. Another thing we can chat about. Well, yeah, like I said, I'm just going through my list of topics, seeing what sticks. Um, so I found out what the kids are into, and by kids I mean my two second cousins, because my cousin, his two kids, we want, and my parents and I all met up for lunch. Weirdly enough, Roblox. No, neither of them into Roblox. Uh, Weirdly enough, my cousin's wife's parents also live in South Carolina. So they were down visiting them. And usually when they do that, they get away and see my parents. Last year and this year, we were able to see. Last year, we had a socially distanced lunch. And this year, we just ate together. But it was nice to see all of them. So, what are they into? Well, they came back from Disney World, and they both really enjoyed all the Harry Potter rides because the oldest has read all the books and the youngest has seen most of the movies. The parents have decided that he is too young for all of the movies, and that's fine. So they are still both pretty into Harry Potter and in the wizarding world and all of that. Also, if I was a kid, I'd be super psyched about all those rides and that cool shit. And yeah, I'd get that. As an adult, I got my problems with it, but I get that as a kid. Being down to clown with that stuff. Let's see what else. The oldest is in her. I don't remember her exact age, but she's young. She's not a teenager yet, but she's like an older kid. Um, she is in a robotics team, so she likes robotic shit and doing minor programming, and that rules. I think that's great. And the younger, my little second cousin, he is very excited about the recent Minecraft update because he's way into Minecraft. And neither seem to were into Roblox. The youngest knows about it but isn't playing it. And neither seem to know anything, or they don't watch YouTubers, and that fucking rules because they might find me someday. I mean, look, here's the thing, right? They're gonna find me on the internet, and it's gonna be a problem because I swear, I just swore about that. I swear all the time, and I make things that you would think might be good for kids, and it's not. And I make sure to say that when I upload videos, that these videos are not for kids, even though they are model kits and Lego. This is not a stream for children's. Keep the children's away. But yeah, I was happy to find out some things about what they're into. I can't say for sure that these are what every kid is into. Just give them your URLs and let them see what Uncle Pat does. Yeah, no. As long as possible, I can avoid that. Like, here's the thing, right? They're aware that cousin Patrick sometimes does stuff on TV and the internet. The problem is they know that I do stuff that I have been on television. Because here's the thing. The only thing they've ever seen me do on television is be dressed as an elephant. So it's pretty great. If you don't know this is a fun fact about Pat Baer. I have been on Jimmy Fallon both as a late night and as a Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon show. I've done 2 bits. I did 2 bits where you just see me in the background, and 1 bit where I had words. The one where I had words is available on my YouTube as Jeff the Nerd in the segment Lick It for 10. My first appearance is Drew Barrymore in an attempt to promote her movie about rollerblading or roller derby. She attempted to break a world record an internet world record of number of pies put into people's faces while on roller skates. And I was one of the people that I got pied by Drew Barrymore, which is just a weird thing that is true and exists. Um, uh, for the not the Guinness, but the internet. There was these people that started their own because they were like, who cares? Just we're gonna do the internet thing, and people could just like submit anything as long as no one else had done it. Um, Whatever. So that was that. But the thing that my two cousins know me from is the um the appearance, as I said, where I was an elephant in the live performance for the Tonight Show of the song "What Does the Fox Say" by Yivas. I forget their name, but they were a comedy group that put out that the video for the song um, became an internet hit, and people were like, "Are these guys serious?" And the answer to that question is no, they weren't serious. It's from a sketch show. They're just a comedy group, and they made a comedy video. But people were like, "This band is weird," and it was like, "Yeah, it is." Anyway, they performed "What Does the Fox Say" live on Fallon, and they like made it so like they were walking through like a set that looked like a nightclub, and they were the various animals that they were referencing were people dressed up as animals. And my thing is, I'm dressed as an elephant. As they walk by, I'm holding a glass of wine, and I like raise my glass at them. I'm just like, oh, and like trying to be cool. I'm playing it like I'm real cool. Um, and that was very fun and nonsense. Uh, because the assistant to the casting person for Fallon, because they didn't do a whole lot of bits, but they still did bits. Um, the person that had to like book people, her assistant was an old time UCB person, so she would just email her list of people um, to come in when you were going to get paid like nothing, because I didn't get any. There's no lines, so it was just like a one time. I didn't get like residuals for that. I did get residuals for Jeff the Nerd. For many years, for not many years, but for a good little while, I got some chunk of change because uh, it was aired in reruns. So I would get a good bit of money for that, which was fucking awesome. Um, uh, But yeah, so yes, to answer Lord Crash's question, my second cousins probably know about Pizza Rat, but they hmm, it's more likely that they know references to Pizza Rat. Like Pizza Rat has been in We Bear Bears twice as two different characters. There have been two different references to Pizza Rat and We Bear Bears. So like probably my cousins know about Pizza Rat from that, not necessarily the actual rat and the fact that the video where I say get that shit, live your best life. I'm guessing uh, they have not come across that shit, but they should. Maybe I'll explain some someday. But yeah, no, I don't think they know I do things on the internet, which is good. Um, Probably for the best. Someday they will, and it's fine. It'll be whatever it is. Someday, one of them will see me on Broad City, and it will be very weird for them. Um, because eventually they will become people, and that'll be weird. It'll be really weird. Um, Not these cousins, a cousin, like a distant cousin that I'm barely related to, but his dad is good friends with my dad. They're related, but they also just like got along really well. He got blown away because my name came up on a Doug Benson podcast like years ago. Um, and he was like, "Hey, Pat, I know you're in New York doing comedy stuff, but how do you know Doug?" And I was like, "I've known Doug fucking forever." So then this was pre-pandemic. Um, uh, this relative of mine went on the 311 cruise. So before that, I had messaged Doug because I don't mean to brag, but I'm one of the 420 people that Doug Benson follows on Twitter. He only follows 420 people, and I'm one of them. Um, and he hasn't deleted me to add people because every time he wants to add somebody, he has to delete someone else. Um, it's not a brag. It's just funny to me. So right before he left, I messaged Doug and I was like, "Hey, when you get there, I've already said this. Like, hey, you should tell his brother. I said, hey, your cousin says hi, because it'll get a laugh out of him." Uh, and it did. And this is like a very fun thing. Like I like that when people are like, "Hey, wait," like people who just know me from streaming or from pack stuff or from Giant Bomb stuff, when they suddenly, or even like, yeah, like family stuff, they're suddenly like, wait, ooh, actually, I'm using the wrong marker here, folks. I want to use brown for this cherry red, and I want to use black on the other red. So I'm going to race this kind of heavy, try to get some of it off. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be fine. I'd say the one knows some Minecraft memes. Oh yeah, I'm sure that that my younger cousin knows Minecraft memes. My older cousin is not. My second cousin is not interested in video games in any way, shape, or form, which is great for her. She's interested in robotics and not games, and that's great. I miss Doug. I met Doug Benson one time at Elijah Wood's DJ set. He was very wasted, but seemed nice. So here's the thing, Lashbrook. Yeah, that sounds about right. Doug is a great dude. He's always been good to me. Um, and yeah, always been nice, and always look forward to seeing him. Um, I still get offers on occasion to record when he is in New York, to like record his podcast appearances at things like at the Gramercy. And I was bummed that I had to say no to the 12 Guests of Christmas recording because I was not going to be in New York. Um, but yeah, I still appreciate getting offered. But yeah, it's good, dude. Let's see. Is there anything that's okay? I guess we'll talk about this. I did more customer service yesterday. I was feeling, oof, I was feeling a little rough for Pat Bear's Anime Club stream. I hope it didn't look like it. I mean, I talked for 2.5 hours, so I think I did okay on the stream. But I was a little drained because people weren't nice. Like I wasn't like I never expect anyone that messages customer service. Generally, here's what happens with customer service. Most people are like, "Hey, I'm having a problem," and they act like you knew that. They act like, well, some people act like they're not going to hear from anybody, so they're just going to vent. And it's like, okay, well, that sucks that you're venting at me, but whatever. And then sometimes people just like assume you know exactly what's wrong and that you know what their product is somehow. Like you read every order, and it's like, no, that's not how things work. And then they are often surprised that you were able to help them in any way, shape, or form. And so I get a lot of like, hey, just want to say thanks for that. Sorry about that. Hey, thank you so much for all your help. I'm actually surprised that anybody was listening. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry that you had bad customer service experiences, but like, we're all people, so let's all be people. Um, Big thing that I did on yesterday, which was great for me, which was follow ups. Oh, follow ups are the best fucking thing, right? Because uh, it's very easy. I need to use macros and then like enter a few bits of information. Because like, all right, let's say this. Let's say you have a problem with your order, and you send a message using the like the service there on the website of the company, and you're like, "Hey, I have a problem with my order," and you don't include anything else besides that. Well, we're going to respond to you with, "Hey, just want to check in on that. Do you have your order number? Can you send me a link to that? What seems to be the problem? Is it, like whatever?" We do that, right? And most of the time people are like, "Yeah, it's not here yet. Can you look up my order? Here's the order number." Or, "I don't have the order number." And then you have to like go into the system and look it up because people make multiple orders, and so you can't just assume it's the last one. You got to ask, right? And sometimes people are like, "Hey, I need this. Hey, there's a defect in this thing that I ordered. Here's a photo of it." And you're like, "Great, I'll process it, no problem." Um, Most of the time, people get back to you really quickly, but sometimes they don't. Now, in my experience working for various companies, the reason why people don't get back to you is because they were like, hey, my order hasn't arrived. And in between the time that they sent the message and you replied, their order did arrive literally that day. And so they don't follow up and go, actually, never mind, I don't have a problem. They just don't reply to your like, hey, can you give me more information? So what I often do, what you have to do sometimes is, especially if it's a slower day, you got to do those follow ups. You got to be like, hi, you reached out about this thing. We'd love to help you out. So please do this. And you're just repeating what you said already, maybe with a little more information. Or like, if you said, like, if someone was like, oh, there's damaged product. And you're like, oh, okay, well, we need a photo. You can follow up with like, hey, you can do it on your phone and send it to us. Or, if you've got a webcam, you can take a photo or whatever. You have to like, spell it out for them. All right, we're now working on the tops of the legs. I did some panel lining here. This is looking pretty good. Uh, and now we'll continue working on our legs here. But yeah, the follow-ups are just like, hey, if you do this, and here's the thing, right? Follow-ups are the best. They're the best thing of anything in customer service that I do because all they are is, hey, I'm just going to repeat what someone else said to you at some point. Okay, now I'm done. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to remember procedures. I don't have to remember if like, oh, actually you bought this shirt and this brand of shirt always looks bad or ooh, how do I respond to this thing? This doesn't look like this looks like shipping damage and not damage from manufacture. Oh boy. All right. Well, I got to ooh, actually or whatever. I don't have to worry about any of that shit. I just have to be like, "Hey, I'm going to repeat something. I'm cutting and pasting what someone else said and rewording it so it doesn't sound like I'm just using a macro." It's so easy, and I did most of that yesterday. I still had to help a few people, but most of my day was just doing follow ups. And then sometimes people do answer your follow ups with just like, "No, it arrived," or uh, "Oh, it was too small, but I just gave it to someone," like stuff like that. I'm just gonna gift this or whatever, or like, or they don't reply. And sometimes they're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Actually, yes, I do have a problem. Here you go." Um, and then, as always, folks, I have to remind you: I don't think any of you have done this, but I need to say this out loud because it's important. Before you send a support email out, please make sure that you ordered something from the company you are sending a support email to, because I don't know why, but because people buy from multiple websites, right? People buy from a lot of things, and they're just like, "Oh, this is the place I buy shirts from, so I don't know where my shirt is." Because we end up with something like, "Hey, I can't find the email confirmation," and I'm like, "Well, you should have an email confirmation." They're like, "Yeah, I can't find it. It's for this. I could describe what it was. Can you look it up?" And I'm like, "I can't look it up." And then I have to like say, um, "Can you search your email for the name of the product? Because maybe you bought it from a different site." And then they do, and I don't hear back from them. Because here's the thing: when you have bought something from the wrong website, or when you've bought something from a website and then you are complaining about the thing to another website, you don't follow up with, "You're right, sorry about that." You just go, "Oops," and then you go find the contact information for that website. Um, John says, "I've only done this once, and that was because the front end didn't end up finishing the order, and I felt like a dummy. But after 3.5 decades, that's pretty good." Yeah. Oh, we've gotten that too before, where people were like, "I definitely bought this. I definitely 100% bought this." And I'll be like, "Okay, well, if you bought it with a credit card or your bank, your debit card, could you check your statement?" And then, like, I have found, actually, I didn't end up picking that up. Like, apparently, like, yeah, there have been people who were like, "Oh, actually, it didn't go through, so I didn't buy it." Because like, yeah, it's like, well, why wouldn't you have that email? Like, you would get the email confirmation. Anyway, all of it is dumb, and I don't hate that I do it, but I also don't want to keep doing it. Um, it's money, right? And I can't complain about making a little bit of money. Um, I can't wait for more projects. The company that I do freelance for, that is not customer service gig, that is the gig where I help by doing data entry and also updating like PowerPoints and presentations of that sort. That company has been on holiday, and I am looking forward to January 3rd, when I start to get emails about projects, and I can start doing more projects for them, because that is sometimes incredibly mindless, but sometimes cool. Uh, Part of my contract says that I will not say what I have done for them, and mention any company by name. That is part of my contract. So I will respect that, and I will not say. But I can say that I have updated PowerPoints for doctor things, medical things, and also one time an amusement park. Uh, and that was fucking fun. Updating a PowerPoint presentation for an amusement park was cool. It was so cool to the point that I mentioned it to my contact, the person that requests my jobs, or requests that I work jobs. I said, hey, if you get anything like this again, please let me know. This one was really fun to work on. And they replied, um, sure, I don't think we'll ever get anything that fun. Because they looked at it and they went, oh, actually, yeah, this does look neat. Yeah, I don't know if you're ever going to get anything like that again. And I was like, oh, damn. Because that was a fun one. Because most of the time, they are fucking boring as hell. I can tell you that in general, they are boring and not fun to do. Because they're just somebody's presentation for work that needs to get updated, because it's an annual presentation, so it needs to say the right date. And there have been new facts and figures entered instead of them having someone. Here's the thing: why do I get those jobs? Because the people that would normally do it at that company don't work at that company anymore. Because that company does not keep people around to do work like that anymore. They just send it to a company like the one I freelance for, that I do contract work for, and then they do that updates. They just outsource it. Um, uh, that's weird, but also great for me, because it means I have work to do sometimes, and I can do it from home. And it's like I said, at the very least, I can put a podcast on, or music, or whatever, or just like a long YouTube video, and just like, cool, I'm just gonna hang out here, or streams. Lots of times I'm just chilling on with streamers doing their thing, and I'm doing my thing, and it works out great. All right, work on these connectors here. Just getting some parts assembled, doing that. Um, but yeah, the customer service stuff. Luckily, none of the places that I do subbing for, or anything, or contract work for, none of them have phones. I don't have to be on the phone. I don't have to answer the phone for anything, and that's great, because I don't want to do that. I do sometimes get live chat, which I hate, because you really need to know everything about that company. And I am a part-time sub. I am an occasionally swing shift worker. I don't know everything about either company that I do customer service for, and it's very frustrating, because they want answers, and everyone wants answers immediately, and want you to solve their problem. And sometimes it's just like, hey, can you look up my order? And other times it's like, hey, I have a very specific question about why I can't order this particular shirt in this particular colorway in this particular size. And it's like, somebody else probably actually knows the reason for that, and I don't. And now I'm gonna have to go, and I'm gonna have to say, hi, I'm so sorry about that. I'll get that information to you in just a second. I don't actually know off the top of my head. I am checking in with my manager or whatever. And then I am typing into a Slack channel, hey, what's up? Um, Speaking of Slack, the best part about working at these kind of companies is, as someone that comes in, is I am part of the Slack, but I am not obligated to check it for anything, except for like the day before I do a shift. I have to like look through announcements. So I just get like weird third hand gossip and like weird phrases about people that are somehow seem to like be indicative of what's going on. Jody wants me to hydrate, so I will. I'm gonna drink a little water. Thank you for that. There we go. Ooh, water. Thank you for using your channel points. But yeah, I'll just get something like I'll just see a message where it's like Mark left, and then like a bunch of people like with just like question marks, and then one person just being like, I liked Mark, and another person going, Mark was weird, and that's it, and I don't know who Mark was. Lord Crashington wants me to play some ska. The last day I can play this ska song, I'm gonna have a new one for Saturday stream, which is a reminder to myself. Whoops, I did the applause by mistake. Sorry about that. Here's the ska button. I gotta get a buy ska song. Yeah, there'll be a new ska song. I gotta figure that out. I think there's like two more that I can use that are in Stream Deck, like built in the, and you can find in the Stream Deck store. They'll got a store, and then after that, I'm gonna have to figure out how to import MP3s, which is still doable. I'll get it done. I just gotta figure that out. All right, so this is gonna go like this, and then this is gonna go like. This goes this into here, and then this goes backside into there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting it. Getting this together. I get this. I understand what it wants me to do. Oops, that didn't work. Oh, there we go. There we go. This feels a little wobbly, but that also was probably true in 2010 when this kit came out. And we'll do this one here. And then that's again the back part goes into there. All right. And then this goes into this. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So it is fun to just like not feel connected to anybody or whatever, and just like keep my head down, do my thing. Occasionally get somebody in the Slack being like, "Hey, who? This was fun. I got this from somebody that I had never worked the same shift that they worked. They were just like, hey, who's Pat? And why is he? I forget the phrasing was. Oh, who's Pat? And why does he write so much? Because they could see in the system, they could see my responses, and apparently in their mind, I explain a lot, which makes sense. And I just replied, "Oh, I type fast," which is not true. But also, I don't know. That's just who I am. That's just how I operate. I just answer a lot of questions and try my damn best. Okay, which way does this go? And make sure this is A7. It is. There's a front and a back to this. They look pretty similar. This is like this. Okay, so then, wait, if that goes like, I think it's like this. I think this is how this goes. Find out later if I fucked it up. Not the best explanation on this thing here. I think this is right. Anyway, hey, look at that. There's our first piece of the maroon color, which is nice. Okay, where are we going to move on to next? Okay, well, now we're going to build more of the waist, because we are, as I said, starting from the bottom, working our way up. And then we'll get into the chest. I'm sorry, just read this tiny writing here. Binding with another thing, use the products. Oh, okay. Got options for when I'm combining it with other kits, which I'm not worrying about right now. All right, let's build the waist. Pieces here. Again, I know I've built this exact kit, but I don't remember it. I've built a lot of model kits over the past 4 years, and then many years before that. But certainly in the last 4 years, I've built my fair share of model kits. So I don't remember every single kit that I have built. That would be pretty ridiculous of me if I was able to in memory, remember all that. Let's see. I'm going through my list of things to talk about. we'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. So I won't say you have to think about this now because you want to think about it later. Because when we come back from the pause for the cause, we'll of course talk about some manga and some manhwa. One manga, one manhwa that I read. We'll check about that, and then after that, we'll talk about, like, I don't know. Hey, start thinking about a New Year's resolution, and also here's my my friendly tip for everybody about New Year's resolutions. Don't pick one that requires outside factors in order for it to succeed. And to kind of drill down on that, when thinking of a New Year's resolution, if you want to exercise more, you want to, like, you got the weights, you don't use the weights, you want to start using those weights, you want to run more, you want to drop some pounds, those kind of things. You like, I want to read more books. I want to finish the books on my shelf. You want to, those kind of things. Those are things where you're like, yeah, this is a thing that, like, I can make steps towards accomplishing in the new year. But, like, things that require other people or incredible outside forces to like comply are difficult to do, and if you don't get them, you feel bad, right? But it's one of those things where it's just like, it's not a failure on you that, like, somebody else didn't give approval on a thing you wanted. Um, a group thing didn't work out exactly the way you wanted it to, that you were hoping it would, and you put all, you invested time and energy in getting that done. Those are things that are tough because you're relying on other people to do what you think they should be doing, and that can be difficult. So yeah, kind of try to, if you're gonna do, resolutions that you're, like, trying to stick true to, make sure they're personal ones and not, like, ones that are impossible to get done. And I know that's a bit of a simple thing, but it is, like, actionable, and it is a thing where you may have forgotten that. It's a nice way to remind people to be like, hey, make it personal. Don't make it like a a thing that is like outside forces could rain on your parade at any moment, and then you're gonna feel like you failed because of that. It was like an unpreventable thing happened, and it's just like, yeah, that those things are gonna happen, unfortunately. Sucks, but they are. Um, all right, I'm going to use my tweezers here. We are going to take a pause to the cause in a moment or two, but I do want to get my tweezers on here because I got to get this pegged in a spot that it doesn't want to fit easily. A little tight. For work, we talk about SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Time dash bound. So that's SMART. S, specific. M, measurable. A, achievable. R, relevant. And T, time bound. I would say timely, but that's me because that feels more efficient. But I do think that, yeah, that is reasonable, Aristophan. Uh, solve world hunger, not smart. Read 4 books a month for the next 6 months. Smart. Yeah, I like that. I am so smart. SMRT. Indeed. And then I'm going to light my diploma on fire. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like, I'm gonna change company culture. Okay. I'm going to improve the communication in this department. Maybe you can actually pull that shit off. I'm going to learn more about my immediate coworkers. Yeah, you can fucking do that shit. Finite and measurable. Yeah, yeah. I think that's all reasonable shit. It's just like, you can't change the world, but you can change a few little things here and there, and those have dramatic impact. They can have a dramatic impact. This piece does just not want to fit in, and it's being a real butt about it. Real jerk. I want to take a pause for the cause, talk about ways you can support the channel and all that. And it's just like, yeah, Pat, I know you want to do that, but, like, what if I just don't want to get into this peg, and I'm going to be really jerk about it and like just not do what you need me to do. Oh, there we go. Finally got it. Thing being a real jerk about it. And then this goes in to another piece, which we will be doing momentarily. But we got to take a pause for the cause first. Folks, if you're new to the channel, if you don't know what I'm about to do here, this is an opportunity for me to chat with all of you about ways you can support the channel. First, this is bigger than I want, and I'm going to adjust it, pull this down here. There's me making myself a little smaller and then matching that like that. And that's way better. That's just better for me. I just see that that's just a little smaller. I'm still in a negative space, but I don't hate that. As I was just saying, uh, this is the pause for the cause. This is me talking to all of you about ways you can support the channel. All of these things that I'm going to talk about right now, especially the monetary ones, these are just optional. These are not things you have to do. These are things you could do, and I would appreciate it. Supporting me financially is, hey, people don't just got money to throw around. So every little bit I really appreciate. And if you are considering donating or supporting me monthly, one-time donation through various services, I do appreciate that very much. If you're already doing that, of course, thank you so much. First and foremost, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Let the people know you got these cool emotes. Show them off. You got a tier 2 emote if you got the Scythe emote, like Aristofan does. Folks, this will take a few minutes, and then we'll get back to building, and then we'll talk about some manga. But yeah, people throwing the emotes in there. Becoming a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do. If you have been gifted a sub by, like, say, Sin or Silver Streak or Aristofan, you can convert that to a regular subscription, and you won't get charged until that subscription, your gift month is over. You can subscribe using Cash Money, your debit credit card, or through your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you can use that. And you could use that on me. And if you're not using it on me, make sure you use it on somebody, because that helps a lot. Alternatively, and I will not say don't do this today. Don't do this tomorrow. On Saturday, join my Patreon. Start in January 1st. Jump in on the Patreon. Get in there. And the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier, different tiers, different rewards in those tiers. New video coming. One of the reasons I got all this is this work is to also shoot a new video that I think will be fun for that. But yeah, new video coming to the Patreon. Various ways to support me, as I said, through that. Various levels. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. You can subscribe to that for free. Pretty self-explanatory. But also there's a membership, and you get my Wednesday videos one day early. I put out a new video every Wednesday. I have a new series starting next Wednesday, but you can watch all the previous ones and all my stuff on YouTube. Watch it there. And yeah, if you're a member, you get a video one day early. It is the least I can do for people supporting me, and that's $2 a month to join my YouTube membership there. Direct donations are always appreciated. Monthly is a lot. I understand $5 a month, or 1 or 3 or 10 or whatever on my Patreon, 2 on my YouTube. That's a lot of money. I understand that. But a one-time thing through my Coffee or directly to PayPal, you could do that if you want to do a one-time donation. Everything I make through donations, YouTube, Patreon, and Twitch all goes into buying model kits and equipment. The kits you see behind me were bought, except for the Lego set, were all bought with money from your support, and I really appreciate that. Now, I don't know what I'm going to be building after the Gouf. It'll be something from my backlog, unless someone buys something from my Amazon wish list, in which case it'll jump the queue. And then I will build that. I shoot a video about it, and then it will get build priority. I have Lego sets. I got this Mega Constructs. I don't build Mega Constructs that often, but it is the Alien Queen from Aliens, and that would be a cool, weird kit to build. I've got one pre-order in there for the Dagger L, because why not? from Gundam Seed Destiny. I got a pre-order in there. I've got high grade kits, master grade kits, inexpensive kits, incredibly expensive kits, a couple kits from Gundam Breaker Battlelog that I don't have yet. There's two that I still don't have. I put them in there. Kits that buying options right now are limited or aren't there, but they'll be back soon. Again, expensive things, inexpensive kits, some tools at the bottom. And yeah, if you buy something from that list, as I said, it'll jump the queue. I'll make a separate video. We're going to get back to building in just a minute, but I got a few more things to say. USA Gundam Store is my alternative to my Amazon wish list. You could buy a gift card there. And once you go there, they send you an email with that gift card code that you DM me on Twitter because my DMs are open, or whisper me here on Twitch to USA Gundam Store with the code for that, and I'll use that gift card. And you can even make a suggestion like, "Hey, buy something from this show," or "Hey, I know you've built a lot of stuff from Iron Blood Orphans, but have you bought this grunt kit? You should," and we could figure that out. That is another way to support. If you want to support me for free and not spend a dime, join my Discord. My Discord's free, obviously. And I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on or promote themselves and just kind of hang out. It's a nice little place, and you're welcome to come join the party. Discord. What else? Okay. Video links. Pat Bear's Anime Club. Recorded one last night. It's going up on Monday on my YouTube. The previous one was like the end of the year news that I thought was interesting to talk about. So there's that. You can check that video out and put a link there in the show description here in chat, and it'll be in the show description on YouTube later. What's up, YouTube people? And then Best of Build with Baer. The final Best of Build with Baer. My last one. This was like a true Best of Build with Baer moment. It was me talking about SantaCon while wearing a Santa hat, and I said the words, I've never missed SantaCon, which was supposed to be missed like, think about it lovingly, but it sounded like I said missed like I've always gone to SantaCon. I've never missed out on SantaCon. It was a actually like not like, oh, this will be funny to clip moment where I was like, oh, that was weird. And I was very happy that I was able to clip that. That's the last of the Best Build Bear. I have a new series coming out on Wednesday. Brand new series for the new year called Do You Remember? Where I will look up something I find interesting on Wikipedia. Or another fact-finding site, but probably Wikipedia. And then I will read the thing, and I will then attempt to humorously explain what the thing is about. And then you can go and follow the link of like what I talked about and see where I got things wrong. And that is, you know, the new thing. It's going to be hopefully fun for me to kind of stretch my improv skills because it's been a long time since I worked those improv muscles a lot. I felt a little rusty during the improvised postmortem. Also, the format was a little different than normal, but still, I was feeling kind of rusty. So I would like to get back into that shit. All right, we're going to get back to building. I'm going to talk about some manga. But first, I'm going to drink some water and do a dramatic transition. Oh no, I transitioned to the wrong thing. Sorry, buddy. That was weird. All right, I got an update. I had the dramatic set to too dramatic indeed. Star Wipes. Yeah, no. That was what you just saw there was Pat Bear's Anime Club. When I do Pat Bear's Anime Club, that I use display capture and I capture one of my monitors. Normally this monitor is all OBS is just in this one monitor, and then my other thing here is like a couple tabs in small things for my list of like my discussions, topics, and stuff like that. I've got a Google Doc and then also chat. because I do chat within the dashboard instead of as part of the overlay, which I maybe could do, but I don't want to. I like having it be full screen. All right, so let me just go in and change this. So I have the dramatic thing. I have to switch that. So in case I use the dramatic transition, it would go to that display. Uh, and now when I do a dramatic transition, it'll go back to this. Just had to update it. Now it goes back to main, which is what this is. This is the main. The main. I have it written as main. I don't know why. I just did that. But now it'll be okay. But yeah, that is I could just do it as a tab, but I use it as just display capture because I just think it's easier to do display. So it just displays one of my monitors. Yeah. Final. Indeed. Final 2. All right, I need a 11. We're working on the waist here. So I'm going to talk to you about some manga, a manga and a manhwa, some comics that I read. The first one I want to talk to you about is Chronicles of the Going Home Club. Chronicles of the Going Home Club. This is a kind of a girls, like cute girls doing cute things or cool girls doing cool things show. And it's kind of a fucking really weird, wacky comedy. It's like both those things. Hey, thank you so much. Poochie D1 just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Gonna hit the old applause there. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the mode in the chat. Thank you very much for subscribing using your Prime Gaming token. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it very much. Welcome. New subscriber. Appreciate, enjoy your emotes, and thanks for being here. Okay, this doesn't look like it. Oh, there it is. Okay, it lines up like that. Oh, there we go. Got it. Something 2 will always be subtitled as Electric Boogaloo because my brain is broken. Ah, yes. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Dirty. So Chronicles of Going Home Club. This apparently has an anime adaptation which I have never seen and can't tell you if it. I don't think it ever got a distributed anywhere. I don't think it got like an official subtitle. It might be have a fan sub out there, but I don't think so. Came out in 2013, and I've never heard of it. But I'm checking out the manga because it seemed like kind of interesting, so I figured I would like check it out. I don't know if I'm going to keep reading it. So, basic premise: the Going Home Club is not typically that's not a real thing. That is for people that don't do after school activities. They don't belong to like any clubs, sports teams, anything like that, right? They're the Go Home Club. Uh, they're latchkey kids. They're the people that are like going home and just doing their own thing, right? And this particular school has a club called the Going Home Club. So when our main character talks to a classmate that says like, "Oh, I'm part of the Going Home Club," she's like, "Oh, I'm also going to join that club. Let's go." And they show up and the main character is like, "Well, I'll just say I don't want to do this, and that's fine. I'll just politely say I'm sorry. I actually there was a mistake." But she walks in and they're like, "Oh, 2 new members, great, you're in." It's just like that, and so it'd be awkward to say, "Oh, actually, I don't want to do this." So she's like, "I guess I'll be a trial member." Okay, so here's the thing. This club is full of weird girls. 3 weird girls. You've got your martial arts expert that she is like straight out of a manga or an anime, like incredibly skilled. What's happening here? You've got a girl who is apparently super rich. Unbelievably rich. Like the first thing she says, it's like, "Oh, we have so many members, we're gonna have to hire a maid or a butler." And she's like, "What? What are we talking about here?" And then you have, all right, we're now gonna move on to the chest. 3 World Girls is a sequel to 2 Stupid Dogs. Um, uh, And the president seems normal, my guess is that this is like a real ditzy character. Uh, and then also the girl that your schoolmates with, I don't know what's going on with her, but she just seems like whatever. Anyway, all of this is happening. It's all weird. Um, the mission for the club is to have fun, which obviously is a very loose like very like loose, like whatever. What does that mean? I think in the second chapter of the manga, it ends up that day being going and feeding pigeons. And I can't tell you why they did that, other than they did it because a lot of the jokes in this are random for random's sake. It's a lot of random humor and wacky characters. And I understand why this got an anime adaptation, but I also understand why I've never heard of it. Because I don't think it's. I've read like 7 chapters and they're short. They're short-ish. They're not like very short, like 4 coma or whatever, but they are short-ish. Um, yeah, and I don't think it's good. And I'm bummed because I do like, I these things are definitely in my wheelhouse, this style. Because like the Good Job Club, which is another anime based on a manga, was really fun, and that was like a weird nebulous group that was just an excuse for wackiness to happen. But that was like a well done story. They eventually added a character that I think was lame and not fun, but that's besides the point. Overall, it was still a good story that I enjoyed. Um, uh, so like wacky school antics, I'm not opposed to. The Family Guy of manga. Lord Crashing, it's a bit like, because it's not like referential in like it's not like Excel Saga, which is just like you need a certain amount of anime literacy to understand that, or like Gitama, which is like Gitama is like a weird comedy show that also has action. It's a very strange thing, and that does require some knowledge of other anime, but not the most knowledge of it. But that is the one where it's like weird stuff happens, and you're like, that was weird. This one's just like, also our main character exists to have like giant overreactions to everything that's happening, and I generally don't enjoy that like big response to the wacky situation as a bit of comedy. That is just generally not my jam. Um, so I would say I'm probably not the right audience for it. I'm sure there are people that like really like it, but I would say there's a lot more of it, and I don't see myself checking that shit out. So that is my like little review of Chronicles of the Going Home Club. Uh, I don't recommend it. Um, I and I don't know what to say about this next one. I will say this: I'm gonna keep reading this shit because it's weird, and I want to see more of it. I've read now, I believe. Ooh, let me see. Let's see where I left off on My Dad is Too Strong. I left off on chapter 17 of My Dad is Too Strong. So this is a manhwa. So this is a Korean comic. So I should say the pacing is different because they're often based on web novels or webtoons, and they are released generally like weekly or every other week instead of monthly. So there is a different kind of energy to those between manga and manhwa. So I want to say that. This is another one of those series that like the major themes of action oriented manhwa, as I've said before, are often is okay. I want to see, make sure is that 8? Did I pull 8 out of there? Okay. Okay. A rift opened and suddenly monsters are starting to attack Earth, and they're like dungeons. But then also to counteract that, special humans suddenly have abilities that they didn't have before, and they're now hunters, and there are guilds. that is like a standard in a lot of this style of story, right? Well, there's also the other thing, which is kind of borrowed a bit from Chinese comics as well, which is the mystical world. There's a mystical world, like a magic world there. Of like, it's not magic like dungeon stuff. It's magic like history is like a weird history. It's the Murin world, and you learn things there. And it's the battles, and there's different sects, and there's different like towers and of power and all kinds of different shit. And the hunter is kind of the new, was kind of like, there's the old stories. These are the new stories that like involve video game stuff and RPGs and are a little influenced by that. And then at some point they started like meshing them together. Like, well, what if someone who was trained in the Murren world was like came into the hunter world? They would be very strong in the hunter world. And that's what this is. So our main character, people got powers, right? Our main character didn't get powers. He also was like just out of college and like kind of like not really great at his job. He worked for the like hunter association, like the hunter management team. So he like kept an eye on dungeons and, you know, one of his jobs, and like supported the hunter associations. He's basically like a city official, low ranking bureaucrat city official, right? That's what he ended up doing. And he's going to go into his first rift like the next, or he's on his way to do that. Like that's going to happen. And he gets hit by a truck. And you're like, oh, cool. This is now a reincarnation, like isekai. It's like, kind of. He goes to the Murren world. And he has a skill in the Murren world, which is anytime he dies, he time rewinds for him back to the day before he died. So he'll know what happened. And he apparently dies a lot. Like, he eventually becomes incredibly strong, but he doesn't necessarily start out that way. He gets strong over the many years, many deaths, betrayals, and we don't really get into too much of that, but there's references to that. But he climbs his way to the top. And it's been so many years for him that he like kind of forgets what's going on in Korea and what his previous life was. And then he's like, okay, like, what is there left to do? And then he wakes up in the hospital, and it's only been a day for everyone else, and he's back. And he has his abilities. Kind of sounds like Shonen Final Destination a little bit, but he's got his abilities, and he's got his memories of all of his training. But what he doesn't have is a lot of like, he doesn't remember, he remembers how to get to his job, but he doesn't remember where his desk is, and he doesn't remember like people's names. And it's only been a little bit of time for them, so he's basically just like, I have like memory issues right now. And everybody's like, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm sure that you'll bounce back. And that's a lot, right? All of that is a lot. And you can imagine where the story goes, right? Okay, well, he's got all these powers. So even though he's not a hunter, he's incredibly strong. So if he goes and fights monsters, it'll be fine. And then like he can give, he's working with a hunter who is like in F rank, but he knows a sword technique for her to do that will level up her own sword techniques. And then she'll like get to the point that she's always wanted. And that'll be helpful. And he's like figuring out what needs to be done and doing all that. Yes, Dirty says he just wants a normal life. He says, well, now that I've, you know, I'm happy I won't have to kill anymore, and I don't have to live that dangerous world. I just want a happy life. Knitted Sweater, oh, what's up, buddy? Just rated with 8 viewers. Thank you so much. A party 6, I should say, not 8. It says string with 8, whatever. Anyway, hi, welcome, Raiders. Dirty wants me to play some ska music. My channel points go to a lot of things, new friends, including this. So that's a thing you need channel points. Hey, what's up, everybody? We'll go back to here for just a minute because Knitted Sweater, my friend out there, Kevin, just says, I just built my first Gunpla. for this one day. Yes, I'll have a new ska song the next stream because I change it every month. Anyway, welcome Raiders. You just saw our friend Nid Sweater over there building his first gunpla, which is rad. I'm doing some gunpla here. This is the Build With Baer Workshop. As mentioned, I'm Pat Bear. I build model kits and Lego sets. I've been doing it for 4 years now here on stream, many years before that. We talk about a lot of stuff. Right now, we're talking about a particular Korean comic, a manhwa. Then we'll get back into that in just a moment. But I just want to say hi. Give me a follow if you're interested. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Monday, Thursday, Saturday, model kit building. Wednesday, something else. We'll go. It is always just something else. We'll go back to the overhead there. I got to figure out how this piece goes in, and then we will continue chatting about. Goes in like that. Okay. So we are talking about the manhwa, My Dad is Too Strong. So to really get everybody up to speed on what's going on with this thing. Why is this? This doesn't seem to. E2 and E2. All right, I'm going to get this other piece out. We're going to look at this. We're going to figure out how to get this little clamp on. I don't know why. It's being weird. But anyway, so there's monsters and dungeons and hunters and guilds and all that stuff. This dude went and trained in like the martial arts world for thousands of years. He came back. He's trying to adjust to real life. He'd like to just blend in and live a quiet life, and just live a normal life where he doesn't have to murder stuff. That's going to be hard considering he works for the Hunter Association. As like he works as like a support person, so he's gonna run into people and have to deal with stuff. Even if he'd like to keep it on the DL, he's not going to be able to keep it on the DL that much. The thing like when we get to the title of like, hey, why is this called My Dad is Too Strong? Well, because there's a teenager. She's, I believe, 17, and she is there living with him. Until she finishes college. She is going to go to Hunter College, but like a good, not Hunter College in New York City. She's going to go to like the Hunter Academy, like a top-rated Hunter Academy. But she needs support. She needs somewhere to live, and to help with tuition eventually. Because he's like 26 and she's like 17 or something like that. She is his brother's daughter, his older brother's daughter. Apparently there was an affair, and the mother passed away. Now, what happened to the father? I don't fucking know. They don't say. I'm sure it's going to come up. There is like a weird hint about it, that there's going to be something about it because she doesn't say what's going on with that. But anyway, she doesn't. So, that's the My Dad Too Strong part of it. It's like, I'll call you Dad. And he's like, yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, I'll be your dad until you finish school. Flip Flop Slap Fight says, hi, Pat. Hope your holiday was great. I feel like I missed so much. Well, this is the progress we made tonight because we only started this kit tonight. So you didn't miss too much. I hope your holiday was great. Mine was good. So My Dad is Too Strong. Here's the thing about My Dad is Too Strong that I don't like right now is it's mostly about how cool he is and how tough he is and how he's helping this other hunter, who may or may not also be developing feelings for him. And to me anyway, it's not about this father-daughter relationship, which I want it to be. And like I said, I'm only in chapter 17, but that's still a lot of fucking chapters. And if you're going to call the thing My Dad is Too Strong, then I need interactions between these characters. Because he just like, she's doing the cooking and cleaning as part of like room and board. And he comes home and they eat together. And then when the hunter, the lady hunter shows up, the girl is jealous. And that's fine. It is what it is. But I'm like, I want to know a little bit more about what's going on here. I'd like a little more details about this. I'm going to keep reading it because it's like, fine. It's very fine. And it like, flows very well. Manga not really known for late reveals usually, right? So it depends, right? Some people, these kind of stories often do like an entire. Here's what they'll do. Here is lots of manhwa. Here's lots of Korean, Chinese, and Japanese storytelling. Right, your stories. Oops, I only needed two of these. Shoot, I only needed two of these. I'm gonna put that one aside. Here's what these generally are. Right, something from the future to entice you. Right, you're gonna start with a bunch of characters. You can see a bunch of characters doing something together, fighting a thing, about to do something cool, right? Then you flash back to how, and we see up until you get to that point. Introduction of the main character and the plot. Sometimes it is going to be slow, like the reveals in Faraway Paladin, which is a manga, and also there's an anime adaptation that's out right now. It's a really slow reveal of the world and the main character and the circumstances of the characters that he is with. Often, modern stuff is a lot faster than that. It's a lot of like, here's the characters, here's what happens. So, like in this case, it's one chapter of all of our main characters' time in the Murren world training. Basically, it's just like we find out who he is, we find out what his job is, we find out why, we don't know why, but we know he did get transferred to another world, became incredibly powerful there, came back to this world, and that's it. That's the first chapter. So you're just like, oh, okay. So I would think that at some point we would figure out what's going on with this girl. Now, it also sometimes with these stories, they don't know. Like not mangaka, our Japanese friends often like have like a rough outline of what's going on, but they might like not know, so they're just like, I'll deal with this later. It does feel like we're gonna find out something about that because um, he does. It's never mentioned why. So you can presume it is heavily implied or basically stated that um, she, uh, her mother and her father were together. It was an affair. But what's up with her? What's up with the older brother? Why is he not taking care of her? Why did she reach out to his younger brother who she never met? Like building the track while the train is moving along. Yeah, yeah, so totally. Uh, uh, like long shonen series have like outlines, but they don't have like necessarily. That's why you get things like the original drawing of Trafalgar Law. He does not look cool because, or not Law. A bunch of the like, yeah, there are a bunch of pirates that in flashbacks don't look cool because um, Oda, the creator, didn't like didn't think those pirates were going to mean anything. So it's just like whatever. And then later he was like, "Oh, I should make these real people or real characters because I do actually want to see that. I want to interact with these characters. So now I have to make them look cool because originally they were just like background characters and they didn't matter." All right, so this goes here. So okay, we're getting a bunch of options here. Basically, there's a piece here that I would normally attach if I wanted this to be modular because this kit is modular. There is this connector, these two connectors here, this piece and this piece. We would use if we were going to connect it to like different backpacks. So we're going to need that if we wanted to do that. We don't need that because we're building this kit as is. So these pieces we'll take out because we'll save them, but we don't need them right now. Basically, they're just like, yeah, you want to attach this extra because that way you make, basically putting this in will make this taller so that this other backpack will fit in. But we don't need to worry about that. So anyway, My Dad is Too Strong is a interesting enough at the moment. I am going to keep reading it because it has piqued my interest, but I am not like dying to. Oh, I'm not connect this right. I'm not dying, and I kind of want to know more about what's going on, and I wouldn't mind him to see him. I destroy stuff at this point. He wrecked like an S ranked dungeon final boss with like a bunch of grunts backing it up instantly, and everyone was just like, "What the fuck just happened?" All right, so we got this backpack. We got these extra pieces, which we will just put in the box over there, because that is for if I want to mix and match, which I will be mixing and matching when I have built all of these things. I will do that. I have some options here. Choose either one to assemble. Oh, when combining. Okay, so when I do this, there's a version I want to do here that if I'm going to combine this kit with other kits, I want to do this part. But if I'm building it alone, I want to do this part. And since I'm building this alone, how do I describe what's happening here? Okay, so we've got these hoses, and they're going to combine here on the chest and go around here. If I wanted to use the waist of this kit with other parts, I would want to have a different waist piece on here. And so there's a separate piece here that I would use for that. So I'm going to keep these parts here are all for that, which we don't need to do right now. Basically, they had to work very hard. How hard is it to mix and match if you want to swap things? Not that hard at all. So that's one of the quote-unquote gimmicks of Gundam Breaker Battle Log is that you can't. They're encouraging you that they're encouraging here if you are working on this kit or if you worked on a bunch of these kits, you can mix and match it. So in the instructions here, they're basically like, hey, take the legs from the Barbatoris and take the wings from the Wing Zero. And you can mix and match it there, and you can put all these together and just do it like that. So they had to put some adapters in here and think differently for all these kits. But there's like 10 kits in this line that are all older kits with like new parts. That is kind of the overall gist of this thing. Did I miss a piece here? I did. I did miss a piece. I missed a front piece. I was like, this doesn't look right. I missed a piece. Got ahead of myself. But yeah. So this one apparently they had to like put some extra parts in to make it easier for them to connect with other kits. But the Gundams could be pretty, because a lot of the ones are like, take the arms from this Gundam and put them on this other Gundam. But the one that this one's involved with, I guess, is apparently a little more elaborate. So they had to like add some adapters to make it work. Oops. But regular wise, it does take some skill to just like kit bash, make weird connections with other kits because they don't always work well together. This in particular, this particular style of kit is designed to do that. Okay, so because I messed up, I got to take some parts off here. Yeah. So I got to take these side pieces off because I missed a front piece. But yeah, we've got some time left to stream. Not much. We got a little time left. What is everybody playing right now? I'm boring right now because I'm just still playing Halo. I am just having a good time playing Halo multiplayer with my core crew. I did a one-shot from D&D. D&D one-shot because my regular group is on brief hiatus. We are coming back. We are just on holiday hiatus, but we will be back. So while we are on break, I have spent some time with a different group. One person that was a holdover. So we are having a good time playing some D&D with a one shot, right down to characters created for us, which I've never done before. I've always like done a day zero. In this case, it was like we could like budget around a little bit, but mostly it was just like, hey, I'm making this thing. If you want to play, I'll have stock characters that you can personalize, but I have roles that I want to see in the story. So it's somebody's vision, and we're jumping in to have fun with that vision. And I've been enjoying it. I guess I enjoyed it, I should say, because it was just the one time. But it was fun to jump in there and just do something a little outside my comfort zone. As I said, I am not used to. I am not used to doing something like that, but it was really fun. All right, I got to figure out how this connects together here. These instructions are, again, from 2010 and not the best, so I got to figure out how to move these pieces around and bend them properly so we can all then put it all together. Harold's here. Hey, Harold. Harold says, I've been working on Game of the Year podcast, doing a charity stream tomorrow. Hell yeah, go check out Harold's charity stream tomorrow. I will not be doing a New Year's Eve stream. I have done that for the past, I want to say 3 years. I'm excited about not doing that tomorrow. But I'll be back on Saturday, obviously. But yeah, check out Harold's stream. And then Flip Flop says, started playing Gas Station Simulator the other night. It's oddly satisfying. That's fun. Cool. Enjoy that. Lashbrook says, played a little bit of Aliens Fire Team, and it seemed like fun, but it felt like you had to stick in an area too long to it loved to spawn xenomorphs behind you. Yeah, I've never heard a good thing about Aliens Fire Team. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember anyone having a good thing to say about that. But I'm glad you had some fun with it. But yeah. All right, so we got to put this on here. All right, so these are in there, and then this connects here. Then these connect this. Yeah. Yes, this is how this works. Great. All right, and then we're gonna lock these places in there. Last one says, it's cromulent, and also the gun makes the gun noise. I mean, good. The gun needs to make the gun noise. I could see them fucking it up, but I'm glad they didn't fuck that part up. But yeah, let me know anybody else if what you've been playing right now. I'd like to hear what people are doing. I'm still playing Hearthstone. I got a deck. I got a wild deck, a couple wild decks I like, and I got an elemental mage deck that when it's firing all cylinders, it's very good. It's just not good ever. It's rarely great, but it gets the job done. And then I got a couple wild decks I like, and I just have about enough dust to craft the Druid Hero card that I've been looking for to playing Gouf, because I want to play with Gouf, because Gouf's ability means that you can get more mana, and you can get up to 20 mana. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I'm excited about it. How do you roll your character stats? Roll 3d6 times 7 and keep the best 6. So Dirty, it depends on who's running the thing. Often we'll do that. We'll do the keep some stats or even distribution. It depends on who the DM is about that. But I have I've done it different ways. I've done it best of, or I've done it no, this is the only way to do it. We gotta, one roll, get what you get. Or points just put in there. I went to a half-price book during lunch and managed to snag Briscoe County Jr. on DVD for $20. Hell yeah, enjoy it. The last time I watched it was in the 2000s, and it was still pretty okay. Then I'm still waiting to get my Nerf pulse rifle. I got Hard Space Shipbreaker, which is an aggressively anti-capitalist game. Yes, I've heard that. I need to start over on the more chill difficulties, as I didn't know I would have to keep running back to the shop to refill my oxygen tank. Oh, they gotcha. We're going to wrap things up in a couple minutes. We'll chat for a little bit, but the next step here is working on the arms, and I don't necessarily want to do that, so I'm going to panel line this, and then we'll call it quits. I'm going to do all of this off stream, all of the hose here, because that's really delicate work. I'm going to take it off and do that. But I'm just going to do the skirt here with black, because it's the maroon deep red color. Was Briscoe before Jack of all trades? Yes. dirty. Briscoe County Jr. was I believe, Fox show um, before the syndicated Jack of all trades. I want to say Briscoe County Jr. predates, yes, it predates Hercules, which was where you saw um, uh, Jack of all trades kind of happened because they didn't do a Bruce Campbell didn't do a spin-off of his Hercules Xena character, which they were in talks for him to do, and instead got Jack of all trades, if I remember correctly. That is, I believe that is the timeline. So, but yeah, Briscoe County Jr. is where I became aware of him because I had not seen Evil Dead before I saw The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. And then I later saw Evil Dead 2. And then I saw Evil Dead 2 before I saw Evil Dead, which I think is fine. Army of Darkness I knew about. I think maybe I saw Army of Darkness before I saw Evil Dead. That's totally possible. I know at least I saw ads for Army of Darkness before I saw that. It's totally possible and plausible that I did. But yeah, Jack of all trades was like his last TV show for a long time before he started doing guest spots and then movies, and then Burn Notice. Burn Notice is the later one. And okay, and then we'll just do this here, there, clean that up a little bit later. Again, like I said, hitting all of these with the brown marker is something I'm going to do later because it's going to take forever to do, and I don't want to. A friend has a framed Briscoe glossy pick signed by Bruce. It's stupid and awesome. Hell yeah. I saw him Army of Darkness well before I saw either Evil Dead. Yeah, I mean, like, Evil Dead, you know, it was well known, but it did have a cult following. But you kind of needed to know somebody who was really into that genre of thing to be like, oh, well, you got to see this. Whereas Army of Darkness, like, they went for it with that. Like, that had, like, ads that ran on TV. All right, that's going to do it for the stream. Folks who came in from the raid, and also folks that are here the whole stream or just came in for a little bit, we are going to do a raid of ourselves. We're going to go hang out with somebody. Maybe it'll be someone who's doing model kit building, but usually not. Usually it's just somebody on the West Coast who I know will be streaming for a little while longer, who is doing something cool, and we want to go hang out with them. Because I only raid people that I think are great and have great communities. I don't, we don't go after anybody who I'm like, oh, well, this is like incredibly popular streamer that will say my name and whatever. It's like, I mean, they might be extremely popular and cool, but the more important thing is that they're cool. Gotta hang out. Gotta send you somewhere awesome. People that are doing cool stuff. Let's see if there's two people that I'm thinking about rating. And I gotta see who it is first. There's a company that I like, but I know one of the people that works for the company really well, and the other person I don't know so well, so we're not going to raid the other person. I'm sure they're great, but if it's the person I think it is, we're going to go hang out with them. And if not, we got someone else. I've never saw Evil Dead. I think it's because I fell under Dollman and Tracer's movies instead. Tracer's was... Evil Dead 2 is totally worth watching. Okay, we're not going to grade the person. Great. We're going to raid Xandra. Xandra is playing Fortune Street. I kind of know what Fortune Street is, but I do definitely know that Xandra rules. So we're going to go give Xandra a raid. So come along on that. Let's see what I got to do here. Raid Xandra's name. All right, so we're going to give Xandra a raid because she's absolutely the best. Love Xandra. I believe she's got her ladies are with her, which is great. And that's just really fun. So we're going to go on this raid. Feel free to come along. I hope you have a great evening. I hope to see you on Saturday for the first stream of 2022. First stream of the year. I'll see you soon. Thanks everyone for being here. Have a great night. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.